Get ready for the Mummy and the Monkey.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Oh, it's always getting crazier out there. What's going on, you guys? Welcome to the Late Late Horror Show Channel Spotlight. And tonight we're going to be doing it with the Mummy and the Monkey. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So let me greet everybody real quick here. We have one girly girl, Ginger. What's going on? Connie Cleary. What is going on, Connie? Night Fright Talk Show. Sinead is here. Tracy is here. Let me pop over to the other screen. JLR, what's going on, JLR? Hopefully everything's going good and you're feeling all right. McDougal McStiffy, what is going on? Who else is here? Let's see. Taking you guys a little while to get in here, huh? Come on. Emily Thompson, what's going on? Good to see you. Terrence M. Ritchie, how you doing, my friend? It's been a while, but hopefully everything's going good. Hey, Bubba, what is going on? Nice to see you. Good evening, everyone. Always learning. Mary, you made it. Hey, everybody, I'll be hanging out here. So good to see everybody. Thank you. Edward Stewart, woohoo, made it. Good evening, everybody. Good to have everybody finally piling in here. There's so much content, so much going on this channel that at any given time, people don't know whether we're live or we're not, but I'm pretty good at the scheduling. So, hey, Stephen Baker. Hello, everyone. Good to see you, Stephen. If you guys do have any questions throughout the show, please type it in there and I will introduce it to the Mummy and the Monkey. But we will have plenty to talk about, I'm sure. Really quick, coming up this Saturday, we will have Dark Shadows, the TV series, trivia night. So hopefully you guys are into that and ready. Thanks to Edward Stewart for the questions. That's going to be really, really fun because I love Dark Shadows. Not the movie, the old one. Anyways, and tonight we have stream 58 of CBS Radio Mystery Theater. So we've had 57 12-hour streams of CBS Radio Mystery. We're almost done with the entire collection. So get ready for that tonight. They you know what? They kept getting better even towards the end. Nothing like the first ones, but the later ones are just as good. Okay, so let me introduce them. I'm not going to keep them over there too much longer. Vincent White, what's going on? Here is the Mummy and the Monkey. What is going on, you guys?
Hey! What's up, Dino boy?
Hey there, Dino.
Hey, good to see you guys. Grim, the monkey has got the banana, and,
Hey.
and Janet, the mummy, has had that seeing eye where she kind of like a romper room type thing. If anybody
exactly like a Miss
Yes.
Sally type of thing.
The
yeah.
macabre mirror, the all-seeing mirror. So we're the Mummy and the Monkeys, Harry Scary Hangout. We're the show that watches you back. And
Whoa.
I'm gonna need some Visine for this guy here.
Oh, I love the eye. The banana's good too, but you know, you gotta love that eye. If anybody remembers Romper Room, geez, my God. I think we're going to be talking old school stuff. And I think a lot of the people in the chat will kind of get it too. So, because you guys dig a lot of the same stuff I do. I mean, and we grew up in the same area, kind of. So, you know.
Yeah, I remember first meeting you. I mean, we talked for quite a while about just general stuff that we liked growing up. I mean, and I think that's how we hit it off initially. We were talking about those types of things.
Yeah, when Janet you had your brick and mortar store, which was awesome. Yeah, it's a shame that closed down. But
yeah, sometimes I still miss the shop. It was a 3-year run. When the lease was done, I decided to not renew it and just switch everything to online.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun chatting with you in the shop, and we need to hang out again in person sometime.
Sure, yeah, anytime. Yeah. But you know, I'm going to have you guys first of all because you know you are horror hosts in Cleveland here. Well, actually, worldwide, because you're on YouTube. It reaches everywhere, So
Mhm.
uh, I want you guys just to kind of describe what you're doing now. Then we'll jump back and forth and all kinds of different topics. But horror hosts are horror hosts, but not really. Some stand out more than others. So I really dig what you guys are doing. It's kind of the new age of horror hosting, and yeah, tell me a little bit about your channel, because not everybody here knows about your channel. So what is it all about? What do you guys do?
Well, we play skits, bits, and a scary flick on most Friday nights on our YouTube channel. I'm Janet Decay the Mummy,
And I'm Grimgore the Monkey.
and together we host The Mummy and the Monkeys Harry's Scary Hangout. And it's a live interactive horror hosted show. So we sit with, while the show's going, we're literally here like in front of the webcam talking to the audience in real time.
Yeah, it's pretty much a continuation of, Elvira, Joe Bob Briggs, MST3K, if you're fans of those types of things, where they would
Mhm.
show bad movies and in some way or shape or form make fun of them or talk about them and use that as a premise for having the characters they've created to entertain people for a 1 to 2 hour period. Our show has the differentiation in our program is that, like Janet said, we host it live when we do stream it live on Friday nights. Of course, the shows are archived on YouTube, and you can watch them later. But if you catch us on live when we're actually streaming, we're able to talk to you via the chat, much like you do here when you do your trivia nights and your paranormal into the night shows, and now the channel spotlight stuff. You get to interact with the audience, and we're really not sure if there are any other horror host shows out there that do this format. There are ones that have chats that run with the programming, that the pre-programmed stuff that they show, but none that interact live with the show itself.
Right. And it was actually thanks to you, Dino, that we decided to try the live streaming, because I remember back in like 2017 or 2018, you
Right.
recommended that we give it a try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because before that, we were doing the direct-to-DVD type of episodes where we actually wrote bits and a little, storyline and chopped it up in between movie segments, and we would, submit it to, public access stations or
Roku channels,
burn
pretty
it-
much
yeah.
any platform that would have it, and then we would sell DVDs that are, like conventions.
But the issue with that is that it would sometimes take us like 2 months to do one show. We're 167 episodes into our live streaming show within 2 years. So I mean, this definitely
it put us on a schedule.
Yes.
It made us more focused. Like, okay, it's almost Friday. What are we going to play for
Yeah,
this week?
we have to have something together. It's less structured, like a pre-written show, like a pre-scripted show, where we might have a rough idea what we might want to talk about. And quite frankly, as you know, the fans help create the content or some of the show structure. They give us ideas. They come up with bits. One of our fans, Bob Ferguson and friend, came up with the idea to call the parts of the movie, because we usually cut the movies that we show up into 4 parts. Call them 4 farts, because it's
Okay.
funny,
And all the fart sound effects you put into the movie.
Well, yeah. And this banana actually was gifted to me by a really, 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 really super fan of a lot of horror hosts. His name is Bobby Harvey Jr. He even signed my banana.
Nice.
But yeah, our fans just kind of like feed the show, and it helps grow it.
Yeah.
And it's just Janet and I that put this together, much like yourself, how you do everything on your own. It's pretty independent. It's very small and up to just the both of us to get this some sort of a show together each Friday night, most Friday nights for the past 3 years.
Yeah, and the Harry Scary Hangouts or Hangover that are after it, which I think are very fun because it's kind of free form. And we can just one little chat can spur off into the entire show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could be talking about like a certain movie or TV show, and then someone might mention, a favorite snack that they're eating, and then for a half an hour we could be talking about snacks.
So here's the basics. What the show structure has morphed into, and probably a year ago, when did we start doing the countdown?
The countdown, I think maybe
Late
about a
last
year
year.
ago, because we started the live streaming on our YouTube channel in 2018,
Right.
but then we ran into some hiccups with YouTube, because sometimes YouTube is,
With Facebook.
No, we started on
the
YouTube.
beginning, right?
And then
we
went to Facebook. We were live streaming on our Facebook page, our fan page. And then we were having some issues with like someone was commenting on one of the zombie movies, calling a zombie ugly, and then they got thrown into Facebook jail.
It's a crazy journey that you guys have had here, because I remember the beginning, you know what I mean? And I think we were even talking back and forth kind of about, hey, Facebook is hot right now, and then they ended up getting into some, like you're talking about, and then everything worked out to where YouTube was the next best platform because of what was going on with Facebook. You know what I mean?
You're right. We were able to do a lot of things on Facebook that we couldn't do on YouTube, but now that's changed. They've gotten their algorithms or whatever they use to vet content. We weren't trying to use anything we couldn't use, but it was just easier to get away with certain things. YouTube's very strict, but there is a way around things, and there's a way to actually do things if you, like you said today, play their game and understand how they work. And I'm surprised how much we've gotten actually put out.
And now we will screen the movies before we show them on YouTube to make sure it's okay. We play a lot of old public domain films. Sometimes we get permission to play indie movies.
But that's the crazy thing. Well, that's the crazy thing about public domain, is that it's not as public domain as you think.
Yeah, because you can upload a public domain film, but maybe 30 seconds of a song might get a little ding.
Oh, Janet, James, let me tell you, you're talking to the right person. I got it. And hello, Maureen Campbell. I don't know if you guys recognize the name, but
yes, Maureen's one of our fans. Hi, Maureen.
Okay. And even my old time radio streams, I can do a full 12-hour stream, and 5 seconds of song is hit, like from an old band back in the 40s, and takes the whole 12-hour stream away. 5 seconds.
Wow.
So there's a lot of that learning curve, and without getting too technical, there are some things that if you correct if you go into the settings and
later on you could change out the music and stuff,
or if the person that claims, that's the other issue too with that stuff. Does the person that claims they own something really own it? I mean, it's insane.
Oh yeah,
it's really wacky.
There's been like third-person ad rev from Brazil or something, and I'm like going, boy, do they got a scam going there,
Oh my gosh. So really quick, going back a little bit real quick, the current structure of our program, it's a Friday night. This is all based on Eastern Standard Time, okay? Because we do it out of Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, we're from Cleveland, Ohio.
Where you're from?
We're Dino's from, but from Cleveland to the world.
So it started out from 10 p.m. To a midnight show, our movie show, show the movie and then go home. But now it's morphed into the 9:45. We start a 15-minute countdown show to let people have time to come on in and kind of get themselves together, get their computer up or whatever they're using to watch it on our television, their iPhone, whatever. And so it's a 15-minute show that shows bits of ours and skits, cartoons, and it's hosted by our red puppeted friend Cliff Jablonski. And that goes from 9:45 to 10, and from 10 to midnight is the Harry Scary Hangout Show. And then from midnight to 1, for roughly an hour or so, we'll do the Harry Scary Hangover, which is what you'd mentioned before, is the
after show chat show.
And sometimes, most times Janet will try to come up with a topic, throw out there, and that's where we, all the pressure's off of running, the board. All we doing is chatting to the audience and having fun. Some of us are hungover and need to relax a little bit. But when we wind down the whole night with that. So on a good night, you'll get us for like over 3 hours.
There you go.
Friday night.
Friday nights are the big night, man. Although you guys do kind of your resellers and your horror hosts. So it's
there's the other sort of side to it.
Yeah, the channel has separate playlists. We have the Mummy and the Monkey playlist for the weekly show, and then we have we call it Monster Hustle for the reseller side of it, and then we do from time to time podcasts, our Living the Scream podcasts.
Now explain to everybody what a reseller is. A lot of people might not know what that
someone who goes somewhere to buy something and they get it for a good price, where they could flip it somewhere else.
we make our
that's the gist of it.
We make some of our living, our day jobs, if you will. Going to thrift stores, flea markets, garage sales, you name it, buying stuff that we know is worth more than what we're paying for it, and flip it on platforms like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, and things like that. So we do reselling to help pay the bills, so we can get out there at night and do what we do by night.
Yeah. And hey, James Muscarella and Big
Oh.
Marty G says
Okay.
they are the best characters since Goulardi, in my opinion.
Oh,
So there you
that's
go.
a huge compliment. But
Thank you, Marty.
But yeah,
And
I'm
thanks, James.
yeah, I'm surprised that you guys still are able to find stuff. I mean, I started when eBay hit big time. I think we talked about this years ago, but when you know, I used to find books for $0.25, sell them for like $700. I'm like,
Wow.
you know, it's just, and that was in the heyday when eBay first started. Of course, it's not like that now, but that's why I'm like, how do you guys still do it? But you do. So
it's finding what they don't know, and
Well,
yeah,
because-
there's always going to be those book scanners and like the Amazon people with their scanners at the thrift store, you know, looking for stuff.
But even worse, the thrift stores themselves are resellers. I mean, bigger than just reselling in the store. They have online presences. They, you know, Goodwill has
their own shop Goodwill site.
Yeah,
it's an auction site.
Yeah, I mean, so the competition is not only from other resellers, but it's from the stores that get this inventory. Obviously, it's free, it's just donated. And they go right on to eBay and other places, Worth Point, and they check out stuff. They figure out how much stuff is worth retail, the resale value, and it'll be right there on the shelf for like $35.
Although sometimes, well, not very often, but sometimes I'll go on that site. And there was one time I purchased, I bid on something and won it, and I bought like some junk jewelry and some other stuff. It was like a mixed lot, and I ended up you know, doubling my money on it.
Right.
I spent maybe like $40. I made like around $100.
Yeah.
So not that super, you know, not like high dollar, but I was able to flip it and make some money.
There is stuff out there, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, and like Janet was saying, we kind of try to sometimes go to there's like some stuff they value more, like the obvious things, like collectibles, like toys and a special
video games,
women's purses like Coach bags,
and the
designer
stuff
bags
that they deem designer.
They know that really well, but there's stuff that's just as valuable that they don't bother with, because like coffee mugs, strangely enough, there are some coffee mugs that are worth a good penny, you know, and they'll price them at $1, generically like $1.25.
One time I sold silver-plated napkin rings for $135 a piece.
And
I paid a few dollars for them. They were in a plastic bag.
Well, your best thing was the silverware.
Oh yeah, the sterling silverware, where I paid maybe $12 for a few bags of them, and I cashed them in for almost $1,000. I took them to one of those like coin shops.
Probably worth more if they gave you $1,000, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Wow. So yeah,
But
savers.
stuff.
But not it's not in all the time, but you know, sometimes you can find those gems.
You got to get good at the bread and butter, they call it, like some of the $20 things. You know, you find them for $1 and you flip it for 20. But if you get 5 or 6 of those in a day, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I remember the good old days when I could do that stuff, but too busy now with this channel, which is
I'm sure.
Yeah, you have a lot going on.
We've been following it. It got really interesting. You know, not interesting in but in like when you were on the precipice of like, you know, of being demonetized, we were like, oh my God, that really, we're like, we got to pay attention, because I think this could happen to anybody that's on YouTube. So you know,
the thing is, it was happened to a lot of people across there was a guy with I think 2 million subscribers, and he took his own video footage of train yards, and they demonetized his entire channel. 2 million subscribers, and this dude made a living and everything else, and they just took it all away. And I don't know if he fought back and got it back or not, but during that time, they were hitting a whole mess of different people. So anyways, you know, the old, not to push my podcast, because it's just it's extra meat, extra flesh, but your podcast, Living to Scream, on there. And I think you did how many episodes? 22, 24, something like that.
The audio ones in the beginning.
Oh yeah, we
the
had the
audio
audio ones on your iTunes thing.
Yeah, we did about 30 of them, I think, or something like that.
Something like that. Mm-hmm.
They still get tons of listens, and still, I think there are thousands and thousands of listens on those shows. It's and it's funny listening to those, because it was only audio format. There was such a different feel to it, even though I love whatever you guys put out, but you know, it's interesting going back and looking at listening to those too. Those are very interesting.
Yeah, we
But,
thought the same thing
Wow.
too. I remember, listening to it. I liked listening to myself more than I did looking at myself. That's for sure.
well, and it gives a different feel and format to what you guys are talking about. Like James would get up and go to the door to get the Chinese food because it was coming. You guys
did
aren't
one
going to do
naked
that.
We
What's
did
that?
one naked podcast, you know.
Yes,
Yes,
we did
yes,
do
I
a naked
remember.
podcast, but it was
Yes,
audio only.
Duh. I mean,
so
that's the point.
Right.
That was the point.
but you throw the word naked in there and people are like, oh,
Yeah.
they
It's
get in a tizzy.
The ultimate theater of the mind. You know, we're pushing that. They're trying to push that limit.
That's like if you did a naked radio show. It's
Right.
like,
What was the point of it? Yeah.
but it's you hear
Exactly.
the word naked, you're like, what?
Well, Howard Stern did it a lot, back in the day.
Oh yeah,
You
you
have
have
to
you would have
imagine-
strippers and stuff on there,
You have
and
to
you would
imagine,
hear them
yeah.
talk about things, but
Or what they were seeing, but it was all. The mind is a very powerful thing,
yeah.
But yeah, definitely you guys go subscribe, get them some more followers and subscribers. The link is in the description. It's pinned to the chat above, all that good stuff. Please go ahead and do that. They definitely are. I love them because not just because they're from the area. I like what they do, but them being from the area just adds a little bit more spice because we remember Lawson's Chip Dip. We remember Superhost. We remember going all the way back to Houlihan and Big Chuck. And even before that, at the start of WJW TVA Cleveland, the best state, what was it? The greatest station in the nation.
Best
Yeah.
location in the nation.
I'll never forget that. When the gorilla or King Kong would climb up
the animated, stop
terminal
motion
tower.
animation.
Yeah, it was great stuff, man.
Well, I think that the coolest thing I think that's come of this horror hosting gig that we decided to do. I mean, that's the other thing. The interesting thing I think is looking at what we're doing and saying, "Oh, you're just doing this," but and we are.
Yes.
But when we started doing this, we got, and not only us, but anyone that's not affiliated with some sort of television station, okay, a broadcast-based horror host show.
Well, when we first started, I think things have changed a little bit since then.
I know, but when we first
started about 8 years ago.
Yeah, before, when the internet wasn't really
when
taken
live
too
streaming
seriously.
wasn't as well known or popular or whatever.
Yeah, and the internet was looked at as anyone could get on there and do it. Well, what's wrong with that? I mean, it's a platform for anyone with an idea to not need anyone's approval but their own, except for the audiences they would attract. That's the only approval you need. And quite frankly, that's why they would do TV shows, radio shows in the first place, is to attract an audience, to get eyes and ears on that entertainment so they could sell product. That's all that really is. So I think you, like platforms like YouTube and Facebook, streaming things, give people as much creative freedom as they would ever have. You think about how many artists would have been amazingly huge had they had this opportunity decades ago. It would be a totally different thing. This is the beginning of possibly some of the coolest stuff you'll ever see that's not managed by a network.
There's so many like indie creatives that are going on like YouTube and Vimeo and online stuff like that, or making a Roku channel. There's so many different options that weren't there before.
In the entertainment field, no matter what you do, you had to, everyone, like the old movies with the bands want, we got to get that records label, man. We got to get sign on that label. You don't need that anymore. It's cool if it happens, but you can actually self-make yourself. There's so many like these, what are they called? Like the rappers that are out there on the SoundCloud rappers. Some of them, these guys are millionaires now and doing really well just by putting their own music up on SoundCloud.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Their own fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, so TikTok, you name it. I mean, there's so many platforms to get your.
Tell the Logan brothers from Ohio that they're not doing well. Those guys are killing it.
Yeah,
they were YouTubers.
Yeah,
from Westlake, Ohio.
And that's how like Billie Eilish started. Whether you like her or hate her, that's a matter of opinion. But she started out on YouTube, and now she's world famous.
So there's a lot out there that could be done with this platform. You just have to crack that nut. Now, granted, what we're doing, it's such an old school sort of.
It's a niche
forgotten
thing. It's an old school niche thing, but we're trying to give it like our modern twist.
And we've got some things in the works that hopefully will give us a little bit of a jump and maybe more notoriety. But I don't know. But it depends on the gimmick and how you work it. But Anyway, I was
Right.
going to say, getting into the horror host thing, that it was looked at as sort of, again, if you're not affiliated with a station or something, then you're not legit. You're a wannabe. You're this and that. But that didn't deter us because we've done this. We've got to hang out with people like Big Chuck and Little John, do things with them at
we
other
performed
events.
opening stage acts for Big Chuck and Little John at some charity events at a few wineries in the past when they were still doing shows.
We got to do an interview in character with Marty Sullivan, Superhost.
That was amazing.
I mean,
he was so nice in person.
This is stuff, I mean, again, and you understand this too, Dino, is that this is stuff we loved as kids, and we never probably dreamed that we'd be able to meet some of these people, like in that way. And at a signing, yeah, but to actually sit down and ask them questions, and it's in some ways break bread with some of these people who've done that.
We were invited to a few dinners with some of the
so
local legends.
It's kind of wild. I mean, where it's gotten us into, and we just recently hosted an event at the Beachland Ballroom that used to be hosted by the Ghoul.
Yes.
I saw that was a big. And the event went well. It was a lot of fun.
It was called Cleveland Screaming.
The final chapter. And in the past, when they would have these Cleveland Screaming punk rock shows, the Ghoul would host them.
Yeah, Ron Sweet, the Ghoul, would host them, and in his crazy ways. But of course, he blew up firecrackers on stage. We didn't do that.
I love the punk scene back in the day. But anyways.
Yeah. Anyway,
that was my thing. And Poetic Justice, thank you very much for the super chat in there. And let's see. James Muscarella says when the thing happened, he started watching The Mummy and the Monkey, Harry Scary Hangout. Yeah, I think that's where a lot of the shows kind of started to crank up. I know my channel did big time from everybody being indoors for a couple years and all that, stuff. But
I think that did help with people's anxiety, and it was a stressful time. And
we even did
with a lot of people home. Yeah,
we even did a one-off special called the Helter Shelter thing or something like that.
Helter Shelter Theater. It was like,
I don't know. We only did one episode.
But yeah, no. For you guys to get to see some of the horror hosts, which I've never got to see Superhost himself. I've got to see. I stopped in Westlake and chatted with Dick Goddard at what was it? A convenience store at the time. I think it was just called Convenience Store. The red label. Yeah, Convenient Food Mart. And he was something else. But he was in a lot of the Big Chuck and Little John skits. And if you guys don't know about it, you can search them on YouTube too, I do believe. There's plenty of...
Oh, gosh. There's so much.
Yeah.
There's so many fans that have uploaded like the certain ethnic skits, the Dick Goddard skits.
Oh, yeah. A lot of Big Chuck and Little John.
There's a ton of video clips out there that people have uploaded.
Yeah, a lot of horror host stuff in general is on YouTube, like old stuff.
Yeah.
Clips
and
like
this is a good... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
I was
Janet.
going to say, this is a good lead-in because we're also part of a group that's trying to preserve old tapes of these old horror-hosted shows.
Yeah,
to try to digitize them to, before they deteriorate.
Yeah, this runs real deep with us as far, and I was actually into that before doing the horror host thing, archiving and collecting anything, pretty much Cleveland, Northeast Ohio horror host, and then. Now I'm open to anything because I just like the genre so much. There's so many hosts from you. That's the other crazy
every
thing.
Big city.
Google horror host on YouTube, and or just on the Google search engine, and their stuff. Currently, there's a ton of them.
Yeah, almost every town had them, and now there's tons of them all over the internet on different channels and things.
Yeah,
there's more horror hosting now than back in the day.
When it was popular.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it's good or but it's out there. It's out there.
Oh my gosh.
And the viewer can be the judge of what they think.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my point,
Yeah. RTN Productions, how you doing, my friend? Nice to see you. He says in Indianapolis, we had Sammy Terry as our horror host. The original Sammy's son carries on today. Horror hosts are a great American tradition. Yes, they are.
Those are great shows, and Sammy Terry's son is doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, he even was nice enough to cut us a 100th episode promo when we did our 100th episode streaming.
He did, yeah.
Nice.
He sent a little promo.
There's another a bunch of horror. There's one out in California named Vincent Von Dahl who does creature features. I think it's not necessarily a direct continuation from the old Bob Wilkinson one.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
seen that.
like a tip of the hat to
Yeah,
Bob. Yeah.
it's just they use the name, but
Yeah,
and he's pretty interesting. I like their production and everything. Like what they do is interesting.
Their production value is really nice. The characters are very likable. Yeah, they're cool. We watched.
Well, it'd be nice to have that big room or house wherever they're at for that staged look that they got going on creature features. But
yeah, it does. It's really it has a real nice look to it. That's for sure. The production is really cool.
Yeah.
Although again, I'm still a sucker for the hey, put up your set behind you, put up the bed sheet behind you, and do your show. I mean,
hang up your monster posters and do a show.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, because I just want to be entertained. I mean,
as long as it's entertaining. Yeah. And you have to start somewhere, right?
I'm as old school as they come. Connie Clary says I accidentally stumbled on The Mummy and the Monkey a few years ago, and they led me to Dino's channel. Thank you to Janet, James, and Dino. Thank you, Connie, as always. Such a dedicated
networking
person. Yeah. But yeah, no, these little sets that we put up are fantastic. And well, there you go. What's that?
So really quick.
Your set's awesome because as the years have gone by, we've seen it really grow with all those figurines.
They're multiplying.
I think they're breeding when you're not doing your show.
All that Ovaltine they're drinking.
Well, it's like anything. Me and Ted started off just having fun, and then I'm like, oh, we need something there, and then we need something there, and then a poster goes up, and then before you know it, we're putting on whatever.
There's a sea of figures. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and in the 7 years that we've done stuff, all of those shows, there are such great nuggets. We've done 3-hour marathons, nothing less than 2 hours most of the time for 7 years. And just like your show, if nobody's watched completely through, there are little nuggets all through there, like the skits and little things that you guys say impromptu and all that just make the show great too. So, that's why I would suggest that anybody who's into horror hosting, check them out. Make sure you catch a live Friday evening and have fun and check out all the fun stuff that they do. It's really, really great. And you'll see me probably in maybe the Hangover one because I'm hard at work here getting the streams ready for you guys. But
we know you stumble in sometimes.
Yeah, that's okay.
And we appreciate that.
We chat on yours sometimes and say hi. We watch a lot of times, in our living room on the big TV.
Right. A lot of people do.
We'll listen to the radio show and we're ready to doze off.
Oh God, it's like all in one channel.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So what's with the little wig on that little skeleton?
What's with this wig? Well, we started talking about procuring things that are horror host related. Any guess what that is?
The ghoul, right?
It is actually one of Ron Sweet's fright wigs. We
wow, nice.
We actually got access to his studio. The guy who ran the production at the time in the early 2000s, late 90s, or when the Ghoul came back to Cleveland in the late 90s. They actually filmed the show off-site. Now, they didn't do it at Channel 55. Mm-hmm. They had an off-site in East Cleveland. They had an off-site studio. They would shoot everything and then deliver the show to WBNX. And we actually were, this is like just a few years ago.
We were asked if we wanted to shop and hang out and video. Actually, we did shoot some video there, got pictures.
Oh, we interviewed John Basso.
We interviewed John Basso, who would run the studio, and he did a lot of the editing for the Ghoul when he was on
it's on your channel, right?
Or Channel 55.
Yeah, the stuff was just sitting there and basically rotting. It was just the time. It was been 20 years since that show was on.
Yeah, and I guess the property is going to be sold off at some point. But
anyway, so they were, so we actually, bought some stuff from there, and it was basically, make a pile and we'll make a deal. And one of the other, we went there a few times. It was that was the first time I got this, but I found this next to some of his, in the area where he used to sit, because the set and all that got sold to another.
Like the backdrops, another fan that we know.
His biggest fan probably in Cleveland.
Another fan bought it.
Not us. We didn't get it.
It's in. We know who has
it. It's in real good. Actually,
and we know they're taking good care of it.
If you want to check that out, he's got his own thing going. It's a Ghoul-based character called Blue Lardy. Look that up on Facebook. BLUARDI, Blue Lardy.
Yeah.
or BLU. Yeah. So anyway, but he's starting to put little mini shows out, not movie based, but it's
just little fun video clips in memory of.
Yeah. Right.
Because he's such a big fan of it. Yeah.
So you can see the set there.
He's a nice guy.
It is at his place. But yeah, I found this fright wig, and we've got a lot of stuff from the Ghoul set. We've got plastic flamingos that were on the set. Oh my gosh, boxes of like.
Actually, yeah, the flamingo there. Yeah. I don't know. It's in the background.
There's a pink flamingo that used to be on his set.
The mailbox there.
I don't know if you can see the mail, but can they see it?
The mailbox is there, I think. Yeah.
Can you see it?
I can see the mailbox. Yep,
There's the Papa Uma, but this is actually the mailbox he used to use on his set.
To read the fan mail and stuff. Yeah.
There's even some stuff in there still. But yeah, I mean, our set has that stuff peppered in. We have a sign. Oh, let me get this.
Can you reach it okay?
Oh, I got it. Oh my gosh. This is from when Big Chuck and Little John showed Laurel and Hardy. This is
man.
Yeah, this is the actual piece that would hang up behind them. I do have that photograph.
We need like a giant building that can just be a museum or something.
Yeah. How'd you get that?
We're
acquiring all these things.
How did we get it? It's trade secrets. No, we just no, I'm just kidding. That's not a trade secret. No, we just work. It was one of the gentlemen that runs Goularty Fest had it, and bought it off.
He happened to have a yard sale, and that was hanging up in the garage, and we asked about it, and he was willing to sell it to us. So
we got the hookup.
Yeah, no, I'm like you too, James. And it's the archiving of old stuff, like whether it's cassettes, heck, even if I can only find it digitally, I make sure I store it and archive it, because all of that stuff I want to someday pass on to my kids and say, hey, never let this go, so it's never lost, But yeah.
Well, okay. So, but now think. So that's cool. You give it to your kids. Now, what we're doing with some of the audio and video that we are helping to collect, we are sharing it with fans, so they can keep it going.
Yeah. So there's actually a Big Chuck and Little John Facebook group where there's a handful of diehard fans that are working on digitizing tapes that they acquire or film reels, stuff like that. Old photos or newspaper clippings, to scan it in and put it in the group for the fans to see, and that way it's kind of like out there for everyone to enjoy. Like no one's selling it; it's just
on the Facebook page, though, right? I mean, there's no website or nothing yet.
Well, no, on archive.org.
And on archive.org. They have a collection of Big Chuck and Little John shows.
Houlihan and Big Chuck.
And I think some scans, and Houlihan and Big Chuck.
Yeah, it's right now it's sort of all over the place as far as the content, like where you can see it and everything. But at some point, we like to get it in a hub where people can access it, watch it, download it, whatever, and share it. It's not about selling it. Never was.
No, it's just preserving history for the fans to see.
And most of it was inspired by a cat, and we won't say his name. But he has a lot of stuff. We'll talk about this offline if you want.
Okay.
We'll mention names. I wonder if you are familiar with this individual in Northeast Ohio. I'll just say that. He look, that's his decision. But he too is an archivist. But he won't share any of it. He won't sell it, trade it. And we understand the selling part, but he won't even trade.
There's some individuals that would gloat about how, I have this tape of this show, or I have this of that.
Not just one. He's got tons.
Probably a house full.
But
nuts. Then he won't put it out there for people to see. He won't trade tapes with people.
That's part of it.
And then what if something happens to people like that?
Mom's gonna throw those tapes right in the garbage.
Get cleaned out. Everything goes in a dumpster.
Yeah, whoever owns that home or who he's living with, those are going to be stupid old tapes, and they're going to be thrown right in the garbage.
Right.
That's a shame. Yeah, and stuff like that. Stuff like that's happening every single day,
Ooh, I'm going to go run and get it because it's a better visual, I think.
Oh, okay, great.
Right, entertain. I got something else I think you'll get a kick out of.
Okay, well, we can read some comments.
All right.
Well, I mean, Big Chuck and Little John memory I got. When I was 13 years old, my uncle sent my picture in for the birthday at the very end. Happy birthday, where they sing happy birthday and the music plays. I forget the song that they would play at the very end, but my picture's there in one of the episodes. I mean, I don't know if I could ever track that down, but maybe one day.
Do you remember what year it was?
Oh, geez. It was somewhere in the 80s. I don't know. I'd have to really, really think and maybe talk to my uncle, but it was a good memory because the memory is always there of when they do the birthday celebration of all the pictures and letters that came in at the end of the day. Just was fantastic. I loved it.
Aw, that's awesome.
We got a couple new people in here I've never seen before. Joe Trippy.
Yep,
So-
he's one of our
Oh, yeah.
fans. Hi, Joe.
Okay. And Grandpappy, what's going on?
Grandpappy.
Grandpappy,
Yeah. So Grandpappy's cool. He's a character. He used to be a radio DJ and
Awesome.
has this Grandpappy character and does voices and stuff. He's funny.
Very cool. Yeah, James, I was telling Janet about when I was a kid, I had my picture on the back wall on Big Chuck and Little John for the happy birthday. So
I never got to do that.
yeah, it was a memory, something that I'll always never forget. So it was cool. So what do you got there?
I never got to do the birthday picture, but I did send in some drawings I did, and I actually have 2 shows from the mid 80s where they held up my picture and said my name. So I have those. That's cool.
Okay.
Didn't you make a gorilla head thing for the ghoul?
For the ghoul, when
Did he
came,
blow it up?
No.
No?
No. But yeah, there was when the ghoul came back in the late 90s, I actually submitted a piece I built that he had on his set. It was just a gorilla mask mounted onto a pole with fur on it. Had a Burger King crown on there with the ghoul's face stiff. And it had blinky eyes, and he had it on the set for quite a while. I don't know what happened to it.
Unreal.
But really quick, and we'll just with the throwing the stuff in the garbage thing. So being
I
pickers,
seen your thrifting video where you showed this, but go ahead. They haven't seen it. I seen it.
Okay, wow, brother, you're in the know. Okay, so
Yes.
quick, in a nutshell, driving around, saw somebody throwing stuff on a curb. Went and cleaned down the garage in a house.
We were looking through the boxes.
And I went in the back by the garage, and the guy had a garbage can. Again, we were just talking about stuff that gets thrown right in the garbage. Forget about even making it to the curb for people to take. This is going to go right to the dump. So I saw tapes in there, like these audio tapes
That we still need to listen to.
reel to reel. I know, I'm dying. I hope this is on here. But I grabbed this audio tape out.
Yeah.
Not that. And I opened it up. I didn't even look at this till probably a month after we had it.
It was we had them in the garage for a while.
Yeah, I'm going through them, and I saw this. It says
WHK Spooktacular 1960.
10/31, 1960.
It might be a radio show from 1960.
Yep.
A Halloween radio show.
Halloween songs, maybe commercials. Hopefully they didn't do what people did in the 80s and edit out the commercials,
Or tape over it.
Geez.
Or
we need the commercials in there. Yes.
Yeah, that's and I was guilty of that myself. I have tapes from the 80s shows I taped off of TV where I took the commercials out. Stupid.
There's some other reels like that are
unmarked. I don't know what's
that are very interesting that we need to listen to and record and document.
We've got so much stuff like this, but this is one I'm
digitized.
I'm almost afraid because I'm afraid like Lawrence Welk's going to be taped over it or something. I don't know.
Oh no, please.
I hope not.
But
well, it's audio, right? It's just audio.
It's just an audio. WHK is. I think is it still around? It's AM station.
It was an AM station. I
big
don't know
one.
if they're still
I
around.
think WHK is still around. I think
Yeah.
it's still around. But
In the 70s, I remember it was like a country station
yes,
that Gary D used to be on. He was like Howard Stern before Howard Stern, and the big mouth guy. But yeah, that used to be a big station in Cleveland, and if that's what it is on there, oh boy, it's gonna be a fun Halloween.
Oh man, yeah, I've got a lot of old along my collections of old time radio and stuff like that. I do have quite a bit of old radio shows that were just recorded from people, just collections and folders
nice.
out of different cities that I fully haven't gone through yet. But you know, if I come across anything interesting, I'll definitely let you guys know.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, same here with this stuff. So, but see, it's funny because it seems like once you put yourself out there, stuff finds you.
Yeah. Once you tell people that you're looking for those types of things, then you might get like a message. Oh, hey, I found a box of tapes in my garage or attic or whatever.
Or the wackiest story I ever had was the Goulardi autograph. You know, finding that thing.
Yeah,
I didn't even look for it. It just found me. You know.
Yeah, you found it in a scrapbook at a flea market.
Yeah, it was a scrapbook from the 60s. I could tell it was from because some of the stuff that I saw in there. You could tell, and it smelled like mildew. It was terrible, you know. I put it down, and then for some reason I went back. They wanted $8 for it. I bought it. A week later, I looked through it, flipping through, and there's a Goulardi autograph in there.
Wow.
Who would have known? I
Yeah.
didn't know.
That's awesome.
Very
Larry
weird.
Parks, Remember Horror Incorporated. And hello, Larry Parks. Welcome to the channel.
Hey, Larry.
Hi, Larry.
Yeah.
Horror Incorporated. I don't know that.
I don't remember that one.
There's so much to
neither.
learn.
Yeah.
Was that a TV show?
Yeah, let us know. I don't know what Horror
I've never heard of it.
Incorporated is. They had one take over the line on the Lawrence Welk show, Albert McTelson.
I was just joking. I just threw out Liberace, whatever, you know.
Yeah. No, it's very cool that you guys are kind of, it helps that you guys are horror hosts and that you're in the loop kind of with these conventions and everything, and somewhat get to find some of these old things or talk to people that used to be in the business. I mean, heck, you guys started off kind of working together in that kind of business still at the very tail end. I think Janet was who? She was the daughter of the ghoul?
Yeah, so I never thought I'd get into horror hosting, even though I was a fan of it. For a while, I was trying to do like acting and modeling kind of on the side, and I had a full-time job. And then an indie filmmaker told me, hey, I met up with this guy who is doing auditions for a cable show, a public access cable show called The Daughter of the Ghoul. And I'm like, Daughter of the Ghoul? That sounds interesting. And I remember, I was a fan of the Ghoul, Big Chuck and Little John. I caught the tail end of horror hosting. I was a kid of the 80s and 90s. So
yeah, she's only 15.
1500. Only 1500.
Sorry, I forgot they had the others here.
Yeah. She's a mummy. So anyway.
Yeah, she goes way back. But she just woke up recently. She woke up in 1983. Go ahead.
Anyways. Yeah, so I got the part, and I hosted, well, by host, I was maybe on there for like 5 minutes just to be like the cute chick in the show or whatever. Because the guy who was producing it ultimately wanted to be the star of the show. He just was like, hey, throw a girl in there just so people will pay attention.
And if you need proof of that, he's actually brought the show back. You can find it on Facebook, and it's the exact same format. If he has a female host, she's on there for like 2 minutes, and it's mostly him doing his thing. But that's fine.
But we helped with his show for a year. And that's how I met you.
Yeah.
So some good came of it.
Absolutely.
All these years later, and we're still together.
So the weird thing is, and it was interesting. I mean, I'm not a fate or kismet person, but who knows, because I've loved this genre my whole life. I grew up with it. My mom turned me onto it, sat me in front of the TV, and watched The Ghoul when he was on in the early 70s in Cleveland, and Houlihan and Big Chuck. She liked that stuff, and me and my brother loved it. We got into it as little kids. But fast forward to the early 2000s or mid 2000s. I moved from Cleveland and worked for different places outside of Cleveland. Moved back in 2012, and when I get back, I see this sign, this thing to advertising that the Daughter of the Ghoul show will be shown live at this this restaurant. And I had to go. I was like, "What?" Now wait a minute. I was like, "I know everything about." I'm just saying. I'm very familiar with what's going on in Cleveland when it comes to horror hosts. I never heard of this thing, and I had to know, and that led me to her, and boom, boom, boom.
And here we are. Yeah.
It's weird.
So I mean,
and yada yada yada. Whatever.
Right. Exactly.
We were on the show for a year. It was on in Cleveland, different suburbs throughout Cleveland at 2 a.m.
Channel 953.
Yeah, some absurd hour.
The community bulletin board channel,
Pretty much. It was public access cable.
Oof.
Just whatever channel would air it.
Right.
So it might have been, I think it was like 10 different channels at the time.
Right. But anyway,
hey, listen, I was back when I was a kid. And hello, Joe Trippy. He says, I grew up in Detroit. Our horror hosts were Morgus, Sir Graves Ghastly, and later on The Ghoul. But I remember being a kid, and I'm the oldest of 7. So all us kids would gather around at like 2 a.m. We would try getting the Akron station on our little TV with the antenna. We had a coat hanger on there, and it was so staticky that we wrapped aluminum foil around the coat hanger.
Yep.
But we would get the horror host station down there, and the one that pops in the head that I remember was the little people cowboy movie, whatever that was.
Terror of Tiny Town.
There you go, Terror of Tiny Town. And we got so much enjoyment out of watching something we could barely see on the big old TV, you know. It was such a different era, and
Yep.
you know, it's hard to let go of those memories, you know. I mean, no
No,
need to let
I have
go of
the
them.
exact same memories. I'm trying to think of the name of the movie. Oh, it's evading me, but the same thing. Tuning into little black and white TV. It was it was about the Canterville Ghost was the name of the movie.
Yes, yeah.
Black and white movie. And I remember just every 5 seconds it's a UHF station. I don't know where this is coming from.
Yeah, you're trying to adjust it.
30 channel, UHF 30 something,
Could be from the next state over.
And it was a sort of a comedy movie from the 40s, the Canterville Ghost, and it's kind of I'd like to see it again. I think I've seen it since then, but just for the heck of it, I'd like to see it. But I have the same type of memories, I mean, you would do that. I mean, that would be your time. That would be your night, is trying to get this one stupid station and just to watch whatever it is you pick up.
I would try to get like Sonagul, because he was on TV in the Akron Canton area. He's still on TV. He's been on there for
30 some years now, 35, 30,
close to 40 years
closer to
now.
40, yeah.
And we've talked with him in person. We've been at the same conventions as him. He's very nice to his fans. And we up here, we don't get the channel, so we pick up DVDs from him every now and then, just so I can watch his show. Because up here it can be difficult to get some of the Akron stations if they're smaller.
Yeah, I think like going way back, I just have to mention this because he's one of my favorite comedians of all time. Was when Channel 8 started the whole thing with Goulardi and all that, and Ernie Anderson kind of was wait, how did it go? I'm trying to remember again. I know Tim Conway was going to be the sidekick for was it Ernie Anderson or who else was it?
They palled around a lot. I mean, that's the reason why Ernie went out to California, is because Tom Conway at the time, but someone had that name. But he had to change his name to Tim. But I mean, Tim Conway's a Clevelander, and he was trying to get Ernie to get out, come out there and do what do whatever with them. And as you know, Ernie Anderson went out to California with $400 in his pocket, I think he said, because no matter, even though he was very popular as Goulardi for those 3 years in Cleveland, he didn't really make a lot. I mean, ultimately, went out there with $400 in his pocket and became the voice of ABC. He did a lot of voiceover work, and he was a millionaire, So that's what he.
Saturday morning cartoons. He was like the announcer voice for those, and different shows on ABC. Yeah.
I think the amazing thing though was that they fired Tim Conway and didn't have him do anything, because he put a lie on his resume application, whatever you want to call it, back in the day, and they told him, nope, you're out of here, because he.
I don't know that much.
That part I didn't know.
Yeah, you must.
Yeah, it was something just small like that, but was meant to be, I guess, because.
Well, it turned right. In hindsight, it worked out.
Yeah, it was a blessing in disguise, because both guys were extremely successful.
Yeah, elsewhere
after leaving.
Carol Burnett show, man. Tim Conway. I don't know how that show would even be without Tim Conway.
Yeah, Harvey Korman, and they did the cracking each other up thing before SNL did.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what made most of the skits on Carol Burnett show so great, was them just cracking up and Tim Conway made
each other laugh. Sort of. They couldn't remember their lines. It was like, because they were making each other laugh on purpose.
Yeah. Well, I love all these memories and stuff, but let's talk about you guys as horror host and your kind of channel there.
Whatever you want.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, and again, please go subscribe. Links are everywhere, you guys. You won't be disappointed. And the movies you pick, are you running out? Are you finally getting to the point where, or is there always something?
Dude, that struggle is real with that. Yes, that's a very good question.
Yes and no. There's still a lot of public domain films out there. There's some of them that are so bad though that
it doesn't matter if we can show.
It's like kind of cringy. Yeah. I'm like, do I really want to show this?
We need content.
It might bore people.
Well, if you put enough special effects in there and sounds and voices and
Well, that's the
whatever.
thing. I mean, hopefully, you know, and we didn't create anything. Okay, we never pretend like we made up this stuff, like these, like adding sound effects to the movies.
Yeah,
That's
'cause,
straight from Ghoulardi and the Ghoul. Okay?
yeah, because they started that really. but
Yeah.
we're just
Mhm.
adding our own
I
flavor to it.
I think Mystery
it
Science Theater was the last original idea on how to host a movie by basically DVD commentary through the whole thing. Actually, DVD commentary sometimes that was Mystery Science was doing that before they had DVD commentaries.
Yeah.
You know. And I think I heard some director made a comment like, "Oh, we'll be MST, we Mystery Science Theatering through the whole movie." You know, they use that as a term.
That's
a
a verb now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you had your own flair, Grim. You're
To make
what's great when when we play the movies, when we add polka music, we are always looking for obscure, like
doesn't take much. I mean,
really obscure indie like polka records that look like they're handmade. You know, maybe the title's written by hand in Polish.
Yeah, I don't even know. You never have to worry about it. For some reason.
It's for some reason YouTube doesn't seem to care about polka music.
Not one issue with it. And that's fine. And because we love polka music.
Yeah.
We really do. There's a band out there called the Chardon Polka Band who are amazing. Hey, you should get them on your show sometime.
Oh, they would be fun.
I've seen your video of them. Yeah. Yeah.
The lead guy is really funny. Jake Cowie.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really funny dude, and they've done stuff for our show too for Christmas. I mean, amazingly fun stuff. But get back to the issue or the question about the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's a challenge. We have to find stuff, and thank God for independent filmmakers because they've definitely saved our bacon many times by letting us show their movies. As a matter of fact,
and we're always on the lookout for indie films. If there's any indie filmmakers out there, or if someone knows, like someone who's a film student or an aspiring filmmaker.
Yeah, we've shown all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we love showing the indie movies.
As a matter of fact,
with permission, of course.
A friend of ours, Terrence Muncie, he made a movie called The Bikini Monsters, and we're going to be we showed that on our 12th episode.
That long ago?
Yes.
Wow.
Episode 12.
We just spoke with him today. He gave us the green light to show. We're going to more than likely we're going to show Bikini Monsters again this Friday night. So it's been like since 2018, so we haven't shown this movie.
So like over 100 episodes ago.
Woo! Yeah.
So that originally aired on Facebook. So
way
it'll be
over
nice
100 episodes
to play Bikini Monsters on YouTube.
So yeah, we're going to be showing that. But yeah, so we ran that through YouTube, and it got a bunch of copyright things on some of the production music you use because to do something for your own production is different from digital, showing.
Right.
You can't really, it doesn't translate.
So we just have to change out some of the music to make it kosher.
I could swap some of that music out because, that's all you need to do. And then we could show it. So we'll be showing Bikini Monsters this Friday night, independent movie. But yeah, it's getting much, much harder to find stuff that's out there, like, old monster movies. But we also show those old shorts. We do nights like that.
Yeah, I'm always on the lookout for weird old educational shorts. We're finding different, sites that have things like that. And
have you guys ever considered? And I know there's a couple different places, but the foreign public domain movies, like there's a whole lot of that out there that I don't know if you guys have looked into yet.
We're open to anything. We just need to learn how to find, or know where to find, and learn how to do it.
Yeah, we are open
because
to
I don't think the language has anything to do with it. You guys anybody could watch that, hear the sound effects, and be just as entertained. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I think that's kind of a cool thing. But
I've seen other horror hosts do that.
Okay, yeah. No, it's just you start running out of stuff.
It's a possibility. Sure.
It's always been interesting, but I'm not ignoring all of you guys in the chat. It's just really diving into talking with the Mummy and the Monkey here. UFOs, no joke. It's good to see you. It's good to see everybody in the chat. And
hello, everybody in the chat.
Yeah.
Hey, group.
And and all you new people too, and everybody who might have come over from their channel. And please, everybody, go over to their channel. Let's see. You can show the video from my ex-marriage. That's a total horror movie. Says Joe Trippy.
We would. I would love to. As long as we got permission from everybody, we would do it. Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
My.
And yeah, we like to try to tell people, about your channel too, and that it's like, to me, it's like your channel's like a one-stop channel. You got a lot of live content, which is good, and I
Mhm.
love that you're and I think you know keep doing the paranormal into the night.
Yeah,
That's
we like the paranormal when you have those people on. It's just fun to
yeah,
listen
I look
to,
forward
and
to that now
it's
so
fun
much.
to hear
Yeah.
different points of views, and you
Well,
know,
it's just that subject matter is great.
yeah,
I
it's
never
a
get
great
tired.
subject because we've talked about this before, how we all liked host Coast to Coast.
Yeah, Art Bell.
Yeah,
And I still like
Art Bell.
Art Bell,
Coast to
yeah.
coast. Not
Not just-
George Snorri, but
No,
some people
not
not
George.
not so much.
Do you call him George Snorri too?
Well, that's the term given to him.
I thought I
Yeah.
made that up. Yeah. Hey, I hear you, buddy. George Norrie here. And could there be aliens? You never know. It's like, what does I know? It's not an opinion.
He's
The
a
word.
robot, just
Oh.
put up, propped up,
Yeah.
kind
I
of
like I like Ian Punnett much better. I thought he was a more interesting guy.
Yes, definitely.
But anyway, it could have been worse. What was the other guy that was on before that? Hi, I'm Mike Siegel. Oof.
They
Oh,
had a
God,
lady
yeah.
on there
Oof,
recently, like a week ago.
Yeah.
Who
Oh,
was
she's
that lady?
fine. I forget her name, but
She
she's
did
fine.
okay. Yeah.
Oh, so you guys
Every
are
now
still
and then we still
listening to
listen.
it. Okay. I
Hey,
just
and
popped
there's-
in my old Art Bell, but go ahead.
Hey, check it out too. There's and we're plugging everybody. So I went to. Have you heard of Jim Harold?
Oh yeah, no, Jim Harold's what's it called? Fireside chat
Yeah.
or something like
He
that.
might be cool to have on your
Campfire.
channel.
It's called the Campfire.
Did you grow up with
Campfire.
Jim?
Yeah.
I went to
Jim
elementary
Harold's
school. with
Campfire
him.
Tales. Yeah.
Jim Harold's Campfire Tales. Yeah, I went to elementary school with him. So
Oh,
Small
very cool.
world.
Yeah.
super. Yep, I've known him since second grade.
Wow.
That's cool, James. I did not know that.
I got the school pictures to prove it. You see me,
But
see him, and then see a Grimgore, a little no,
Back when you were a young ape.
a wee ape.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, but it is really interesting, and we've been trying to get on his show. I had lunch with him one time, and we talked about stuff years ago,
Yeah.
but it never came to
Yeah, we
fruition.
were like, hey, hint, hint, wink,
Yeah,
wink.
Jim.
We could be on your
What's
show.
going on,
Nudge, nudge.
Jim? Yeah, but I think he would be I wonder if I'd say hit him up. You never know. I mean,
Yeah, no. Maybe I'll send him a message. It'd be nice to.
Sure.
He's got a lot of things to talk about. I think the way he does his show, I think would be better than most of the hosts that are on Coast to Coast right now. To tell you the truth, I mean,
he's been on there as a guest before too. You know, I mean, they'll bring him on in
Yeah.
the beginning a little bit, but
Yeah.
I know he's secretly dying to actually guest host, and he
Right.
may one day. You never know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, tomorrow night I got ufology. It's going to be Tom Conwell. So paranormal
We'll be there.
incident. It's going to be a good show tomorrow. It should be.
Awesome.
Oh, I like the one guy with the Mars pictures. I'm trying to think of his name.
Oh yeah. There were those,
Aggie Nost.
Yes,
Aggie Nost.
Ghost. No, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, he was really interesting.
That guy's a character, man. He's a keeper. He's good.
He's a character. I've talked to him 4 times in interviews now. So he's an interesting guy. So
He is. He's got all of those trappings of like a Robert Ghostwolf, or
yeah.
he's like that kind of guest to me. He's like this eccentric character who can matter of fact,
he kind of reminds me of and this is just in a silly, jokey way. Like Langley from what's this from X-Files?
Oh, X-Files. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
But this is in our little travels outside. This is what makes this interesting to me, is that I'm looking through a bunch of DVDs and I found a Red Elk DVD. Remember him?
Yeah. Okay.
He was one of the Indian. Well, I think it's actually. I don't know if he's actually a Native American, but he says he is.
Yeah.
But he's one of these guys that was on RFL with the prophecies of the.
Yes.
But I found, and I can't even find it on eBay anywhere. It's like one of these weird, like self-put out DVDs. But I have to make you a copy.
Yeah. No. It's
Cool.
back in the day, Art Bell was also an entertainer, but he kind of just let people, no matter how crazy they were, how wacky they were, just tell their stories.
Right.
Not saying that the people I try to get on are the same way, but I try to find people who are interesting and just let them tell their story. I don't care how crazy it is. It's let them put the story out there. The story is the content,
Right.
and then
he recognized entertainment. That's what it is.
yeah.
It's pure. It's entertainment.
It's very entertaining, and it gets it gets your mind
And Art would say,
never
I just
know.
let people make up their own mind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and then let the viewer decide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yupper. So
Yeah.
let's see. Movies. Your favorite, like, yeah, I always like to do this, even though I know it's a tough thing, and I think we've talked about this in one of your hangover shows or something like that. But
Yes,
your
it is.
favorite kind of movies. We can start with Janet. Like what is it? Universal? Is it kind of the newer films? Is it all over the board? Like what are your favorite movies to watch?
Hmm.
Tough
I guess
one.
I guess it depends what movie or what mood I'm in because there's a lot of like, well, like one of my favorite like grindhouse 70s movies is Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but I also
Oh,
love
no one likes that
the
movie.
classic Universal movies, the classic monster movies. I also like a lot of like pre-code murder mysteries and the old
Yeah, she's been
some
getting.
of,
Yeah,
I've been getting
lately.
way into like the old like 1930s films, like Depression era films.
Yeah, they don't have to be horror. You're talking about, but if you
And
want to focus
there's
on,
if we're just talking
Pre-code
about
murder
horror
mystery. Yeah.
films, I like the classic ones, and then even some of the new ones that have kind of a classic vibe, like Babadook. I really liked. That was a fun one, and
Okay.
it had kind of like a classic ghost story vibe to it.
she's never seen Misery before, right? So
Oh yeah, we
James,
watched that recently. I never
Yeah.
saw it before, and it was so
it
creepy.
was great.
Rest
It's
in
a
peace,
great.
The
James
Stephen
Caan.
King
Yeah.
movie, yeah.
That is a classic movie. It's very good, very well done.
Yes.
But
And that's
anyway, but
80s. So yeah, that's definitely up my
but yeah,
alley.
but you go ahead.
But of course, I love the Mummy because I'm a mummy.
Hey now,
And the Hammer Mummy
Ooh.
films are wonderful too.
Hammer's great.
Yeah, what I love about the Hammer films, like the costumes, the sets, the actors. The blood is really goofy looking. It looks like red acrylic paint, but I can forgive
I
that.
take that over the Saw blood any day. But anyways, that's
The
me.
fake,
Yes,
the CGI blood.
it just
Yeah.
I just like the old practical effects, the work that people put into making the costumes, and it just
I think that hobbling
it's so
scene
cool.
in Misery was practical, and you covered your eyes on that part.
I looked away. I'm like, oh, his
That was
foot
pretty-
looks so messed up.
Pretty
Oh,
graphic, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Every
that
now
was
and then, there's this-
that was a miserable movie, is what it was. But
Yeah,
no,
exactly. And everything.
yeah.
yeah,
No,
it was.
I like that you're getting into the old pre-code murder mystery films and stuff like that. I mean, those are just fantastic. A lot. I mean, James probably knows this since he's an archiver. I mean, so many of those films are just lost. I mean, you could take 50% of all the films that were made pre-code, and they're just gone.
Well, she's reading a book about him right now. We found a book at the thrift store. I found it.
Yeah, and a lot of them are gone, or they're very hard to find. There's a lot of different titles I was writing down, and I'm looking them up, and I'm like, I can't find this anywhere.
Yeah, I just happened to find a book as soon as she's getting into pre-code. There's in thrift store pre-code movie book. Like what? So I had to grab that for a few bucks. You know, and it's great.
Well,
great
and if you think about it, so Dracula and Frankenstein were technically made, before the Hays Code was enforced.
Yes.
So those are pre-code films. White Zombie was, I believe, 1932.
The best thing about
Bela
the
Lugosi.
pre-codes is they have a lot of stronger women roles for females.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, where there were women.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was a very pinpoints that exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of like in some of the other pre-code films, like there were women like running speakeasies
and
or
shooting everybody and murdering. I mean,
yeah, they murdered their
Lord.
Their ex-husband or their lover.
Well, they were the ones to be afraid of. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and it's they had just as strong characters as the men in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But then later on, the roles in films changed a lot for women.
Quite a bit, yeah. So it was like, it got homogenized really bad.
Mm-hmm.
No, pre-code was awesome. I mean, not just for the fact of the beautiful women of the day, because I'm telling you, there's nothing like a woman from the 20s to 30s. Anyways, that's my thing.
Well, the style was so gorgeous.
It was.
Like
yes,
the
I'm an old
fashion and the hairstyles and everything. It was just so pretty. And it was brand new for that time. Yes, and it was liberating for women, because before then they had the 1800s, long skirts, and now they're, wearing these little mini dresses and dancing around like flappers and stuff.
Well, only one of the only shows I saw that captured that the more recently was Boardwalk Empire. Did a real good job.
Yeah.
At showing
Love
how
that
that some of that might have looked in color, So it's kind of neat to see that.
That was a great series.
They recreated the crap out of that stuff. I love it.
One of my favorites. I love that any time period piece like that from that era. Boardwalk Empire is fantastic. Dave Plouffe, what is going on? Nice to see you here, my friend.
Hey, is Donald Duck Orange Juice in here?
Who?
Donald Duck Orange Juice.
Oh, RTN. He's in here. He's in here. Hi, boy.
I love that.
That was his name on here.
Is that someone's screen name, or they just say that when they're on?
Oh no, RTN Productions. He's a great guy, and he's a jokester, and he'll say Donald Duck Apple Juice. He'll say Hi Boy Donuts. Well, I'll say Hi Boy Donuts now, but
okay.
He's been going through cancer and chemo and stuff, but
always. I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, we hope you're doing better, dude.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends. I'm getting up there too. I'm not a young ape anymore, and it seems like a lot of my friends are going through some stuff too. So it's like getting crazy out there. You get that certain age, and boom.
Heck yeah. Dave Plouffe says there's nothing like a woman in her 20s and 30s. Oh, wait, what? No, Dave. I said,
yeah.
From the 20s. Listen, come on. But it's funny throughout history and like pre-code, how strong the women were, how, things were so different. And then the men of Hollywood, and the studios said, nope, let's cut this back. It's tame. It's not right. The woman should be at home. And then that's where the whole, women's suffrage, they kept fighting for it. But when it came to movies and stuff like that, yes, they took a back seat,
You're my girl Friday, all that kind of thing. And secretary. And
you could be the housewife or a secretary.
Or perhaps a secretary.
It was like,
that's all it's a really
very
bad,
limited when just in the 30s they had more.
And it's shocking too, because it doesn't even matter how old those movies are. You'll watch them and go, oh my God, these women are like kicking everyone's butt. They're packing guns and
hell yeah, man. Scarface, come on.
It's really to me to have seen as much as you've seen through your life, and then see an old movie from the 20s and 30s that it can shock you because it's so different than what has been.
Yeah, I guess 40s and 50s it was wholesome, and being more, I guess, momish or something.
Well, like I keep mentioning the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the pre-code movie. I forget the actress who played in there. Somebody in the chat probably knows, because they're usually better on names than me. But that actress in there, I mean, she just took so much of a beating. She was hardly dressed, but she was still strong in her way and did finally, come out on top. But that movie is just such a gem of a movie.
I need to check that one. I know what you're talking about.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
I have
to watch it again.
Who plays Dr. Jekyll in that? Is that Barrymore?
Is it Barrymore? See, I don't know names. See, James, I'm getting to the age where I forget things easy. Even though
there's a lot going on.
I'll have to look it up on the Google later.
I thought it was I don't know why I'm thinking of Barrymore.
I'm sure the fans will type it in.
Yeah.
It could be the Barrymore. Miriam Hopkins says RTN. So that's the woman. I knew he would know that. Let's see. Hey, KJ, what's going on? It's good to see you, man. It's been a long time. Nice to see you here. Make sure you go over to the Mummy and the Monkey and check them out on Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, technically 9:45, but
9:45.
Yeah, technically, you could.
Yeah, 9:45 is like the pre-show,
the countdown
to get you psyched up and to get you ready to watch the show.
Yeah,
Thank you, RTN. See, the guy's name was not Barrymore; it was Frederick March. This
is a different one. I'm thinking. Okay, all right, I gotta check it out. I want to make sure I get the right one. All right.
Yeah, check that movie out. Unbelievable performances by both.
Yeah, I think Janet and I are kind of on the same page with as far as movie genres. I like really bad movies, so
so do I.
The bad.
I'll watch them with you most of the time. But,
yeah, I mean,
and we'll make fun of it and laugh at certain
Yeah,
scenes.
and it doesn't matter how old they are, how new they are. Like some of the more newer ones are like Birdemic is really
Oh, God.
horribly, unbelievably bad, but
Oh
it's
my
so
God.
good in its
Yeah.
badness. The Room, which isn't a monster
Oh,
movie, but
it's not no, it's like a love story drama.
oh, I don't know what it is, but
It's
What the heck?
pure magic. The
Is
Room.
it really? Okay.
oh my god,
It's so
you've
terrible,
but
but it's so
but
fun.
it's very Ed Woodian in that this guy was serious about making a movie. He thought he figured it out. Americans like to pass footballs around and wear tuxedos and talk about girl. It's like no, they don't.
Yeah.
It's this guy, Tommy Wiseau is the
Tommy
guy's name,
Wiseau, I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
from France.
and this
Yeah.
guy is just
Oh.
so disconnected from everything. But he thinks he's sincerely making a movie,
Mhm.
and it's but like Ed Wood. I mean, his
Yeah.
movies are great because he didn't make them to be goofy. He just made them and was sincere about them, and that's what made
Yes.
them, great.
Yeah.
I mean, Plan 9 from Outer Space was not the worst movie ever made.
No.
No, it was. I find it very charming. I love.
I
Plan.
do too. I do
Yeah.
too.
I can watch it all the time. It's really
I think
that good.
I think it's magical.
Yeah.
And I
It's
do
just
I do see
wonderful.
what you're saying about Tommy Wiseau. It's similar. Maybe 30 years from now, people will be looking back on his films and
Oh,
and
it's
trying to
it's already a cult film. I mean, we
Well,
went
right,
to one
true.
screening where they had like plastic spoons at one point. They have a whole
Yeah.
ritual
So
now.
so at one of the
Yeah.
local movie theaters around here, yeah, they did have a showing of The Room, and people were treating it like going to see Rocky Horror
Yeah.
Picture Show.
Mhm.
Because when they would do the film screenings of Rocky Horror Picture Show, people would act out the scenes, they would dress up,
They would throw things at
they
the
would
screen.
throw stuff at the screen, and they were doing that with the movie The Room, and
Yeah.
we were like, it was
Wow.
so fun to see that.
Yeah, it's a perfect bad movie. Like again, like Plan 9, like
Yeah.
things like that.
Love them. My favorite, and thank you, Dave Plouffe. He put the link for me and Ted's whole talk on pre-code movies that we did. So the link is there.
Ooh, I
Let's
need to
watch
look
that.
that up. I don't know if I may have missed that one.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we hit up and talked about, and I was prepared probably for that one, so I knew names. But anyways,
Can I make a prediction of the new bad movie? Is it going to be the Munsters, the Rob Zombie Munster?
it might be, James. It might be.
Have you seen the trailer to that?
You know what? I can't see them being in makeup unless they really, in color. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Dino, but see, we came from that time.
Yeah.
We came from that time.
Back
No,
in
Yeah,
my
we came
day.
from a different era, I say.
No, you're right. To me, it's almost like when they not the new Ghostbusters Afterlife movie, but when they did the 2016 Ghostbusters,
Oof,
they wanted to
ew.
reboot. Why would you reboot Ghostbusters? Why?
I don't know.
The movie, the original movie is great. There's no need to reboot it. You
Yeah.
can
I've said
continue
this
it.
a million times, James. I don't know why. The people there just do not have no imagination. There's a group of people in these studios going, what else can we reboot and do? Because these
Yep,
scripts
it
that
made
are
a lot
coming
of money. Yeah.
sound so outlandish that I don't think it would work. When back in the day they were given a chance and they became cult classics, a lot of these films.
Right.
They don't do that
Yeah.
no more.
Nope, they don't take the chances. They go, like you said, they chomp on the cigars. What made a lot of money a long time ago, or even
Right.
recently? Let's just keep remaking everything that makes money.
Yeah, come on.
They don't.
Part
They
12.
don't. Right.
We want another one.
Like you said, they don't take a chance. They don't go. This sounds weird. Let's just make it and let's hope it. Yeah. But it's a business. I think that's why they do it. I mean, I know that's why they do it. They don't. They want to lose their investment.
Yeah,
But
we watched
you
the
know.
trailer to the new Monsters,
Oh.
and oof,
I know.
there are no words. In my
I
opinion,
know.
And
it looks really
look,
bad.
Right, and I'm not that much of a purist, but to me, some things just don't need to be remade.
And I actually enjoyed the 1990s made-for-TV Christmas version of the Monsters. Yeah, it was bad, but it was enjoyable. But this other one, I don't know. This looks even worse.
Fred Gwynn is hard to top, man. I don't know about all those actors in that.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
That voice. I mean, Fred Gwynn's like, Grandpa, oh Willie. This guy's like, hi everybody, I'm Frankenstein. It's like, what is
Oh,
that?
He sounds pubescent.
Dude, wait till you hear
like
the voice.
his voice is cracking in the trailer.
You're not gonna
it's
believe
really
it.
like, what the heck
Jeez.
am I looking at?
You know what, Dino? Don't even watch it. Don't.
I won't watch it. There's no need to. There's many more things that can be watched. And Fred Gwynn was a big part of the CBS Radio Mystery Theater family towards the end there, like the late 70s on.
He's got a great voice.
Yeah, his voice was
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
He did a lot of fantastic episodes. So I don't know if you've heard any, but I should get the best of Fred Gwynn CBS Radio Mystery soon. That's kind of a good idea.
And use the Frankenstein face. Use the Herman Munster face. For the graphic.
There you go.
With the detective hat or whatever he's in the show.
Oh, there you go.
At the Late Hour Show, there's a lot of copyright protection going on with these reboots too. Well, exactly, and just another reason not to mess with them. Just let them be.
Well, it takes 80 years for a copyright to go away. The Ghostbusters hasn't been gone for 80 years.
Well, anyway.
They could have done maybe like a spin-off or something of maybe like we talked about this earlier before we were live.
Maryland's Monsters.
Yeah, like why not just do like
that's a better idea.
Of other characters,
but they won't do it. I don't know why they don't do it.
Because we need the money to be able to make these movies, but
and I've had this talk with some friends who are really in the Universal Monsters, and that franchise is like has bit the dust. Tom Cruise is the Mummy and all that.
Yeah.
Why don't they remake these? If they're, and I'm not against remaking these old movies. I think that it's not a bad idea.
But if it's done right,
black and white.
Well, you never heard me say that then. But I said if I was in charge of the reboot of the Universal monster movies, they would be done in the same era and in black and white.
Yeah.
And they would be such a hit that everybody would be making black and white movies, just a copy. But that's the way you should do it, right? Am I wrong?
I think so. We've had this conversation. I've had this conversation with other people that are fans, and they say the exact same thing. And the funny thing is that when you see stuff, when they replicate old, even when they did the Universal Monsters toys, they made a color version and a black and white version because people understand the black and white. Yes. That's how they see these characters. They don't, except for the creature was even black and white. I mean, they all were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were.
They could own that. They could have a total different look to their monster universe.
Yes.
And it would own black and white. Just do it. Yeah. I mean, you can't.
Give it that classic look, the classic monster feel.
Yeah. Take a note from the page of the Frank Miller.
Sin City.
Sin City. They didn't make a whole different.
That's still my favorite comic book movie.
It looks like Frank Miller drew the whole movie.
I love that movie.
Because that's what made the book hardcore. Is the noir look.
Yeah, and the book was incredible.
Noir needs to come back. Someone needs to own that.
Well, listen, if you guys do love the noir, which I'm sure you guys catch here and there, some of the old radio shows, but check out the Sam Spade.
We listen to that.
Oh yeah, we love listening to those shows.
Listen, did you guys listen to the Pat Novak one? Because he's no Pat Novak. He's got one-liners through the entire episode, like 30 minutes of one-liners and dames and this and that. It's some of the best lines ever. So if you
talk about like some of that stuff you like, and that's on the on that one. Okay.
Yeah, Pat Novak for hire. So definitely listen to that one because everybody cracks up laughing. They're going, did you just hear what he said? I mean, it's fantastic.
I think I may have heard some of those, matter of fact, because like I said, we put them on in the background. We're working on eBay stuff, and
you probably
we do a lot of listings to that and at bedtime. We'll put
or like right before bed, and then it's funny, and I don't know if you get fans that say this sometimes, like if you're dozing off and you're hearing these radio shows, you'll like
visualize them.
Yeah, you'll visualize them in your sleep.
That happens all the time with
they show up in your dreams.
I do the same thing. If you wake up to it sometimes and you doze back off right in that dream state, and it's like you're kind of in an episode or something like that. So no, it's definitely cool.
And then you're like, I need to doze off to find out what happens next.
Well.
Or like
to see what happens next.
To see what happens next. Yeah.
So you guys is oh boy, we're coming up to the end here. Anything big coming up in the future for you guys? Just this, other than the Friday night coming up this Friday, what's going on?
Well, Cinema Wasteland is the next appearance we have. That's I believe first weekend of October. It's a 3-day convention and film festival. So that's our next in-person appearance.
But every Friday night we're on is a big event to us because we actually pulled our butts out of bed and actually worked on something to bring to people on Friday night. So yeah, if you want to just kind of hang out in a live situation and watch an old horror movie or something that we dig up, add sound effects to sometimes, do our own little skits. We have our Stasha from the Old Country, which is an homage to the Big Chuck and Little John character Stanley with the
certain
striped
ethnic
sweater.
skits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call our Stasha from the Old Country. We kind of pepper some of that in, and we just have some other characters that have their own sort of skit lines, and bit stuff in there. Yeah, we just hang out, have a good time, talk to the audience. We have prize giveaways every night or every Friday we're on. And,
prize drawing.
Just have a whole lot of good, clean fun.
So if you're in our YouTube chat when we're doing the live streams, if you're chatting and having fun, I write down all the names.
And
I put them all in my big plastic shiny mummy bucket.
Ouch.
And we will pick a prize winner at the end of the night.
So that's always exciting.
So we'll give away like stickers, buttons, sometimes DVDs.
And we even have a segment that we do mostly every week called Cleveland TV Showtime Travel. That's where I grab an old TV guide. Dino, you remember those? And I'll do a little montage of what was being shown. Usually I pick a date. I have a ton of these TV guides from the Cleveland Press and Plain Dealer. But I'll pick a date
some too,
yeah, close to our show date, see what was going on that Friday night, Saturday afternoon, which is obviously was like Big Chuck and Little John was on, that ate all night, right? They would show movies basically to 4 a.m. in the morning on Friday night on TV8. And then the next day we had Superhost for that 4-hour stint he was on, noon to 4.
Loved it, man.
And if the Ghoul might have been on too, so we had like Superhost, the Ghoul, and Big Chuck and Little John the same weekend, all that stuff. And sometimes, and then Channel 43 would play on Saturday, would play Hammer movies after all that, and science fiction stuff. It was incredible, time to watch TV in the 80s, 70s, and 80s.
Back in the day,
it was the greatest.
Yeah, you can't recreate the feel that and I try to explain this so many times. The feel and the way things were then. You know what I mean? Too. And even movies, like, you would have to wait a whole year before you seen King Kong again if you didn't have like the VHS or even before then when VHS weren't around.
Right. So it was an event,
Yes. So it was. It was an event. It was a big deal to come and watch the host that we had. It was just a fantastic time. I loved it. Tracy, thank you for dropping all the links for me like you did there, the Mummy and the Monkey, and then the channel. So I really do appreciate it.
And we have Barba Papa. Oh yeah.
People are like, what the heck's a Barba Papa?
Dino probably remembers this. Right?
You know what? Actually, I don't know Barba Papa.
You didn't watch Barnaby?
Oh, geez.
He would show episodes of this.
He was a European cartoon. The Barba Papa, I guess.
Family of.
They were like a family of these alien creatures that can change into different shapes and stuff.
And sizes very easily.
Yeah.
He played Casper too, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
But then later on, he started playing Barba Papa.
Gotcha.
Here's a book I found too. This might I don't know.
They're very strange.
We're all about the Barba. They're almost like schmooze.
So that was an estate sale find, and now it's part of the show.
All right. Yeah. Whenever people super chat, I squeeze my Barba Papa.
CM, thank you. He says, good night, everyone. Thank you for the wonderful stream. Dino and Mods, Mummy and the Monkey. I enjoyed watching. The best wishes, healing thoughts, positive vibes to all. Yes. To the family here. Yes. The Late Horror Show family, much love to you all, and healing energy to each and every one of you. A lot of you guys going through a lot of things, but again, thank you, Janet James. Thank you for coming on and talking. I'm a fan. We got to get together soon.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Talk and chit chat or whatever. I don't know.
It'd be great.
Yeah, and please go over and check out their show. TheMummyandTheMonkey.com. The links are everywhere. I don't even need to say it again because you guys probably are subscribed now. So hopefully you'll see new people in the chat. I know you will this Friday. So and tonight, CBS Radio Mystery Theater stream number 58. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And with that said, I am going to get going and tell each and every